Welcome back to Living Today with Mario Vasquez on Martha Stewart Living Radio, Sirius 112 and XM 157.
Valerie Ursoni, the personal coach, left us some great ideas. We're going to put them up on Twitter, so make sure you always keep us with you 24/7 on Twitter. That's twitter.com/Martha Radio. Throughout all the shows here on Martha Stewart Living Radio, we post all the great nuggets of wisdom, ideas, and just you name it, thoughts from our guests on Martha Stewart Living Radio. That's twitter.com/Martha Radio. Here on Living Today, we're also keeping in mind, the inclement weather, winter storms everywhere, ice, snow, just plain, and some parts of the country can be really pleasant during the day and then drop into the big chill at night or just stay in freezing weather the entire time. Your skin doesn't know what to do. I mean, there are times you think, okay, I'm in the warmth of my house or my workplace or my classroom or in my car. It's nice and warm. And then you open the door and there's an extreme temperature change. I mean, you can't blame your skin, which they say is what's the largest organ of the body. You really can't blame your skin if it freaks out. If it starts to chap, if it starts to dry, it starts to cause problems with blotching and so much more. And I wasn't kidding, Chris. Haven't you ever been walking when it's really windy and really, really cold? And I have literally gotten welts on my skin just from windburn.
I've had windburn. I've never had welts from windburn.
I had welts. A few years ago, it was very windy, very cold. I had raised bumps on my skin like somebody had hit me.
That's peculiar.
I was out for too long. I think I overtaxed my skin. Remember, the skin is a living, breathing organ. The pores are opening and closing. Just even the daily weather conditions, the pollution, our own particular skin conditions, whether, we have oilier skin, whether we have drier skin, it is all impacted even more. It's made worse by the weather. And then factor in not just that it's cold, the fact that, you also have the snow, the ice, the sleet, those conditions as well. So any question that you have about your skin condition and care for wintertime, for example, question, what type of lotion should I apply? Should I even be using lotion? What if I wear makeup? What kind of lotion or moisturizer do I place under the makeup?
That's interesting. That reminds me, a couple of years ago when the New York Giants were playing a game in Green Bay, and when it was so cold, it was like 4 or 5 degrees, and I remember the guys on the sidelines were actually wearing petroleum jelly on their face, or cream on their face to protect from the cold and wind.
And Chris, would you wear petroleum jelly if it helped? I would.
I would, but I want to know is that good or bad for your skin?
Let's find out. Dermatological surgeon, Columbia Doctors East Side is here to help you. So call now with your winter skincare questions, your urgent questions, all your questions. 866-675-6675. Dr. Monica Halem, thanks for joining us here on Living Today.
Great. Thanks for having me.
You heard us bringing up all the worst. I mean, winter conditions and skin sometimes just do not go hand in hand, correct?
Right. The winter months actually pose a unique challenge to maintaining healthy skin, and it's from constantly switching from indoor heat to outdoor cold. So there's a couple things that you want to do to both help treat as well as to prevent the loss of moisture in the skin.
So what are some things we can do to treat?
Well, first of all, you want to switch as the seasons change. You want to switch your skincare regimen. So as it gets colder out, you want to switch from a lotion-based moisturizer to something that's a little heavier, more of a cream-based, which is more of an oil to water base. Petroleum jelly is great. However, it's very hard to put makeup on that. But if you are going to be outside, like at a football game, that's actually a great thing to use.
Really, for all of us when we're out there.
Yeah. Some of the ingredients that you want to look for are petrolatum, which is exactly what petroleum jelly is.
Petrolatum.
Right. Any kind of alpha hydroxy acid is very good. And you also want to look for mineral oil, which actually is good, as well as something called ceramides. Ceramides are actually one of the main ingredients in our skin, and it helps to maintain the moisture.
Would this be applied to any area of skin that is going to be exposed?
Yes. I often tell my patients, don't forget, especially your lips, your hands, anywhere that's exposed, your ears, which can often get dry and chapped.
Sometimes I wish we had in our homes and our offices maybe a transitional space where the temperature would be somewhere in between where you are and where you're going, just to give your skin a chance.
Right, just to give your skin a chance to catch up.
I was talking earlier about how I have literally, I don't know if you've seen this before, Doctor, but if I'm walking in wind-whipped cold, I will get like little red welts on my face, like almost like not that somebody hit me, but it looks like raised red skin just from the extreme weather conditions.
Yeah, that definitely happens. It's called urticaria, and you're getting it probably from the pressure and from the cold. You get something called urticaria, which raises up like little welts, and that's very common.
And how do we deal with that?
Well, that's just something that, you just sort of have to, there's no real treatment for that. It just sort of goes away as you enter, as you get out of the wind. There's nothing to prevent that, but you can moisturize the skin, which will prevent the skin from breaking down from that process.
Your questions, 866-675-6675. Dry, cracked skin, chapped lips. Boy, that's a sign of the times, isn't it?
Definitely. You have to make sure that you protect your lips. And you want to make sure that you protect your lips with a sunscreen as well. We often forget in the winter time, we think it's cold out, the sun really doesn't bother us, but you're actually getting a lot of ultraviolet radiation right through the clouds, often gets reflected off the snow, which we've had a lot of, and you want to make sure you protect yourself from that.
Are there any products we're using that maybe are doing the opposite of what we think they are? In other words, we think, this will keep our lips moist, and rather, instead they're drying everything?
Well, some makeup, some lipstick, and some lip glosses can often cause a dermatitis or can actually make your lips drier. So again, you want to look for something that has petrolatum or petroleum in it, and that's what's going to keep it soft.
And how often should we apply? Because, there's that thought in the summertime about reapply your sunscreen. Does that also apply in the wintertime as well?
Well, if you're going to be outside for a long period of time, you would definitely want to reapply it. But what I usually tell my patients is to carry a little lip balm in their pocket, and just a couple times a day, just go ahead and moisten up your lips. Because it's also the heat and the dryness from inside that gets you cracked.
Yes, doctor, which brings me to my next point. Again, everybody just call and ask your questions too, 866-675-6675. What can we do to our indoor situation, our indoor atmosphere to help our skin adapt as we go back and forth between inside and out?
The best thing you can do is get a humidifier. That actually keeps moisture in the air and allows to heal dry, itchy skin. So you can get one of those little portable humidifiers and put them in your bedroom, let's say.
And just keep your skin as hydrated as possible.
As hydrated as possible. That's the key.
And what can we? Does the hydrating we do from the inside out work?
Yes, definitely. You don't want to forget to drink. They say 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. It's great for the skin cells, and it keeps it hydrated from the inside. And you also don't want to forget that when you're washing your face, you want to switch from a soapy formula to a non-foaming or non-soapy formula. So you want to get something that's very gentle, almost like a milky cleanser, and that'll help maintain the natural oils that you have in your skin. And you also want to do that for your body as well. Soaps and very foamy soap products can often dry your skin.
So more of a non-foaming face and or body wash.
Perfect. That's perfect. And when you get out of the shower, the best way during the winter to prevent dryness is also, when you get out of the shower, pat yourself dry. And just when you're a little bit moist, that's when you apply your moisturizer. Again, a petrolatum-based or a ceramide mineral oil-based. And you apply it when your skin is nice and moist. And this way it seals in the moisture as opposed to applying moisturizer on dry skin.
Taking your questions on winter skin care, Dr. Monica Halem is here from Columbia Doctors East Side. Doctor, say hello to Catherine. Catherine is in Illinois. Hi, Catherine. You're on the air.
Thank you so much for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Doctor, I have such an issue, mostly in the wintertime, with cracked heels. It sounds awful, and the only thing that I do for that, every morning getting out of the shower, I used to watch my mom do this. I have a pair of old cotton socks. I immediately will put on some, like a Vaseline on those heels, my toes, put the socks on, and, leave those on for the next hour or two before I change into my regular clothes. Have you got some tips for me?
That's actually a great thing to do, but you could also do that overnight and sleep in it overnight. So maybe the longer hours of doing that with the petrolatum or Vaseline might help even more.
Okay. Is there any favorite product other than what you've just mentioned?
I love Vaseline. I love Aquaphor. There's also a great product called Amlactin, which is right over the counter. You don't need a prescription. It's 12%, and it's actually got lactic acid in it, which is what Cleopatra, when she took her milk baths, she used to bathe in lactic acid, and it really helps to get rid of a lot of the dead skin. So you can use that as well.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I've been bathing like Cleopatra, doctor, because I've been using like a milk-based body wash.
Well, it's the lactic acid in the milk. So there's a great moisturizer by the name of Amlactin, and it's actually lactic acid, and that's what's in milk, and that's why that makes you nice and soft.
I had no idea I was bathing like Cleopatra. Thank you so much for that. I have to confess, just like our friend who just called, I've had cracked heels as well.
Yeah,
Ouch.
It's very common, and the best way is exactly what the caller said, is to apply the Vaseline and then put on cotton socks or socks, and that actually helps the moisture penetrate into the skin. Our skin is a great barrier, so what we want to do is we want to help things penetrate it, and one of the ways is by, occlusion, like wearing a pair of socks.
Men and women, whether you shave your legs, whether you shave your face, shaving seems to, sometimes make the winter skincare problem a little harder because that's the skin that takes a little bit of extra punishment, right?
Right, exactly. Shaving can cause some irritation. So you want to make sure that you use a fragrance-free, cream-based formula after you shave, and that should help protect it from being chapped.
Doctor, and I'm sure you advise this too. They say, use your sanitizing liquid on your hands to keep you getting the cold, the flu. Then you think, well, what if I put that on? Then I need to put lotion on. So we'll talk about that as well. We could talk about, overall skincare, skin washing techniques for winter skincare, safety and health, and your questions too at 866-675. 6675. The doctor's here for you, so call now. We'll be back with the doctor in just a moment. We're talking winter skincare on Living Today. But right now we're visiting with Dr. Monica Hale, and we're getting our skin, well, maybe not perfect shape, but as perfect as possible with this winter skincare. And, we're going to talk later about this. Oh, my gosh, more bad weather all over the country, doctor.
Yes, I know. It's coming.
But at least it's moisture, right? Can we look at it that way at least?
Exactly. Yes, you can.
Because to me, that dry, blowing winter wind, oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's harsh on your skin, that's for sure.
And the phone lines are open, so call with your questions. Everything's open season on winter skincare questions. 866-675-6675. Like me, my skin goes dry, and I have a curly hair, so like ingrown beard hair more in the winter than summertime. And I'm going to just go ahead and confess right now, and it's not going to be awful. I'm showing to Lauren right now. My elbows are dry.
Yeah.
Lauren, don't make that face. Lauren just made a face. Am I awful looking? Or?
The other thing I wanted to mention was when it's cold outside, we often take really hot showers.
I do.
Yeah, and it feels great, but it's not great for our skin. So you want to kind of lower the temperature a little bit, make it a little lukewarm, and you don't want to take a really long bath or shower because that hot water actually gets rid of the moisture in your skin.
Do you know, doctor, I've been doing the exact opposite of what you just recommended. So I've been taking really hot, long, steamy showers.
Yeah, like I said, it makes you feel good like you're in a spa, but it's not good for the skin.
So shorter showers, more lukewarm water.
Got it.
Consider myself fixed. And April can't call in, but she's listening in. Hi, April, and has a question for you, doctor. April says, just listening to the discussion about using humidifiers. She wants to know, doctor, which is the better to use, cool mist or warm mist?
I would probably say cool mist. That would be my suggestion.
Why is that? Because that sounds so opposite of what, who am I to give advice? But I would have thought warm mist.
Yeah, I think you can go either way. For me, sometimes when it's warm water, it can actually drain the moisture from the skin. So I think a cooler humidifier would be much better. But you want to make sure that your house is nice and warm. You want to be comfortable.
And, you talked about the spa effect and, the long, hot showers. And we, do go to spas. We do mist our faces. Can we pay attention to our skin? In other words, overstimulated or overtreated in the wintertime?
Well, if you're doing it with just steam, that's fine, but it's the hot water that I can actually get rid of the moisture.
Let's go to Wisconsin, and that's where we find Karen. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great. It's frigid here, but that's okay.
But your skin will look fabulous once you finish with the doctor, Karen. Go right ahead.
Absolutely. Hey, one of the things that I started using this year, and actually the end of last winter too, was the Olay body lotion and stuff. I just find that seems to work so good, the one that's anti-aging, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I just buy it in the biggest bottle I can find, and it usually lasts me a whole season, and I love it. Is there something better than that out there? And the price is very reasonable, too, but it seems to work. Is there anything else that might work the same that might be better? Or the other thing is that I have a question on, too, is that it seems like when I expose my skin to, like, my lip area, I break out in cold sores, like if it's real harsh, windy conditions. Is there anything I can do to prevent that?
Okay, so let me talk to you about the first one. Olay is one of my favorite body washes, and the other one that I like a lot is Dove Creamy Oil Body Wash. And if you look on the back of the ingredient, you'll see that both of them contain petrolatum. So there's that ingredient you want to look for to help maintain the moisture in the skin. So that's a great product. It's over the counter, it's not expensive, and I love it. So great for the winter, and I actually use it in the summer as well. The other one, yeah, there's no way to really prevent cold sores from coming out. Unfortunately, if there's not the wind, sun, and any kind of stress, which none of us are under these days, can all let the cold sores come out. So there's no way to prevent it, but you can treat it right away as soon as you see it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Karen. All the best to you. Stay warm.
You bet. You guys too.
Thank you. Take care. Patty's in upstate New York, so I'm sure, Patty, you have a question about winter skincare, too.
Yes, I do.
Go right ahead.
What can you do to stop hands from chapping? My husband and I both have problems with that.
The same thing that you do for your feet, you can do for your hands. So Vaseline, Aquaphor, or even this lac hydrin, the amlactin that I talked about a little while ago, all those three are great for dry hands as well as dry feet. What you can do is at night, put a little Vaseline or a little Aquaphor or the amlactin, and then get some white cotton gloves and actually sleep in the white cotton gloves, and you'll wake up in the morning, your hands will be nice and soft. You don't want to forget that your nails can often get brittle in the winter and around your cuticle area, so don't forget those things as well.
Now, the big project you have, Patty, is talking your husband into sleeping with the white cotton gloves.
Well, yeah, I don't think he'll do it. The problem is his job is handling paper products constantly. They just dry his hands right out. So
he could try to wear gloves at work. The other thing he can do is make sure he has a moisturizer right next to him at work, and just a couple times a day he can go ahead and moisten his skin.
Well, that's what we've been doing, but it doesn't seem to help.
Well, try a stronger product, such as anything with petrolatum in it, or try this amlactin.
Okay.
A little heavy-dutier product, Patty. Thanks a lot, and take care.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Also, doctor, when we apply, say, petrolatum, they are heavier based.
Right.
Harder to remove. So when the time comes for removal, the proper way to remove it, the proper way to not, aggravate our skin.
Right. You want to make sure that you don't rub very vigorously, because that can irritate the skin. A lot of these products that have petrolatum are not like Vaseline, so they're not as thick as Vaseline, even though they have the petrolatum in it. If you're going to use something like a Vaseline, you just want a nice, soap and water, but something gentle, and eventually it would come off. You just don't want to rub and take a towel and really try to rub it off.
And those of us, doctor, too, may have some extra skin situations that maybe create more of a challenge, say touches of rosacea or psoriasis or other skin conditions. I would imagine in those particular cases, even more care and a more delicate approach is needed.
Definitely. And in the wintertime, those conditions can often get exacerbated. So you want to really stay on top of those conditions and keep them from getting worse in the winter.
When is it time that we see our skin, our hands, our legs, our feet, whatever is aggravating, when is it time that we know it's time to go see an expert?
Well, when you're having symptoms that are really causing you a lot of problem, or you have anything that's really itchy or really dry and you're starting to get cracked and, at times can often bleed, that's when you really want to go see somebody and talk to somebody about that.
And now back to my other question I had at the beginning, the elbows that are dry and have, maybe dry or flakier skin, the kneecaps, those types. What do we do for that?
The best thing is this Amlactin, this lactic acid product, and you want to apply it twice a day.
And don't forget to keep applying at the same time. 866-675-6675 to visit with the doctor. You said our nails can really get beat up as well.
Yes, your nails can get very brittle. So you want to make sure that when you moisturize, you don't forget about your nails. And women, you get a nail polish that has nail protein in it. It'll say it on the bottles, and that can often help your nails get a little thicker and harder.
Do we sometimes, protect our extremities, protect our ears, our faces, and forget about our neck?
Yes, we often forget about our neck, and especially in men, the back of their neck. So you want to make sure you get that as well.
Now, when men are shaving, what should we do post-shave to make sure that we don't have extra skin care problems in the wintertime?
So, again, you want to make sure you shave with something that's not too drying. That's the first thing. That'll prevent you from losing moisture. So, a shaving cream can sometimes be a little bit drying. So during the winter, you might want to change to something that's a little bit gentler or maybe a creamier-based shaving product.
Good ideas and great advice from Dr. Monica Halem, dermatologic surgeon, Columbia Doctors, East Side with Winter Skin Care. To learn more, go to dermatology.columbia.edu. Dr. Halem, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Should we paint our houses, the insides red like many restaurants?